Most residents have a relaxing summer in Corpus Christi. There are free concerts on the promenade, and there is a very relaxing, laid-back feel around the whole of this southern Texas town, near the Mexican border. But, not far from here, live people who are barred from all of this. People openly marked out as a risk to society. The same words are on the sticker on his car. And if that's not enough, if the offender gets into his parents' car, they too have to show the sign.
That is to be placed on your vehicle. If you have 2 or more vehicles,
Judge Manuel Benales ordered these impositions for 15 known sex offenders. These are relatively light cases. They haven't been sent to jail, but the protective labels follow them, and in the case of a relapse, they are subject to maximum penalties.
If you commit another sexual assault or an aggravated sexual assault, upon conviction, the only punishment that you may receive is life. In Texas, 2 times and you're out.
Gabriel Trevino is one of the 15 openly labelled dangerous. His only crime was to have made suggestive approaches to a 15-year-old girl, and it certainly wouldn't worry him if the rain washed off his sticker.
The sign on the vehicle always gets me like I'm hiding something or I'm nervous or something, and I'm afraid I might hurt somebody as being a heavy equipment operator, because that's what I do. And I always think, well, did that guy read the sign on my car? Oh, who knows? And, you know, you go through that process. But, you know, I just don't think this is right.
James Williams, also arrested for improper contact with a 15-year-old, has experienced scary moments in his car by unknown pursuers. These men, labelled by Judge Benales in order to protect society, now live in fear of vigilante reprisals.
Having this kind of sign in your front yard saying you're a sex offender?
It was kind of scary. It really was. You know, I was stopped at the red light and someone got behind me, and I guess they was fascinated because of seeing the sticker on the back of my car. So I guess they wanted to see where I was going or whatever. They want to, you know, keep an eye on me anyway, so therefore I guess that's what they were doing.
Do you feel like you're being singled out as a target?
I've had very strong thoughts about that.
There has already been one suicide attempt in Corpus Christi by one of the labelled offenders. Many of them now live in fear for their families, fearing that they may be open to attack.
It is the offender who is required to put up a sign in front of his residence. If he were to be so concerned about his family, then he may have to make separate arrangements for them if that is necessary. But that's his determination, not mine.
Make them move out?
He may need to move out. If he feels that it's going to be so bad,
Leave his family?
he may have to do that.
Would that serve any kind of therapeutic effect?
It would not. He's going to have to live with it, and unfortunately his family is going to have to live with it.
Legal expert Gerald Rogan is taking measures to appeal against Benales. He sees his actions as an abuse of human rights, but he knows it will be hard to change the judge's decision. In Texas, the judges have a lot of power and influence.
Yes, I believe it's unconstitutional. First, under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. This is forcing you to speak in a way that you don't want to. Also, it's untruthful and danger. If he's such a danger, what's he doing on probation in the first place? If there's such a danger, they should be in prison.
In Texas, the judges are elected by popular vote, so it is difficult to ignore populist views.
I think it's a good idea to put them out there so we can know who's living around us, because everybody down here has kids. Everybody has kids, small kids.
There are, however, a lot of people in Corpus Christi that remain critical of this new system. They think that labelling someone a sex offender in many cases is just not appropriate.
This boy made a mistake of a 16-year-old girl told him he was 18, that was his mistake. So I don't feel their law sometimes is right.
Judge Benales is resolved to continue making these rulings unless a higher authority stops him first. Gerald Rogan now has a new client, 18-year-old Robert Torres. He had sex with a 13-year-old. Later, he fathered 2 children with 2 other women. Judge Benales has now issued him with a sex ban.
Before he gets married, I ordered him not to have sexual activity because it seems like every time he does, he fathers a child. And the reason for that simply was to keep him from having children that he is not going to be responsible for.
Lucy Valdez is the mother of the 13-year-old who Torres slept with.
If I had known that this carries a 99-year sentence in, in prison.
She now wants to help with his defense. But Judge Benales doesn't want to know. He issues a smoking ban to everyone who he also gives a protective punishment.
It's not a necessity of life. He doesn't need to smoke, and for that reason, I impose the condition on every person placed on probation, whether it's a sex offense case, a burglary case, a theft case, or any other case, whatever it may be. I impose a condition that that person shall not smoke.
Judge Benales believes he has a very clear conscience. He isn't worried that the sex offender signs are affecting the prices of neighbours' properties. He sees himself as a man with a mission, convinced that his rulings only serve to prevent further sex crimes. He is allowed to carry on with his crusade because the state of Texas has law and order as the bedrock of its society.